Help us get the word around. Please share our videos. Every adventure we tackle, something extraordinary happens, and this one, it sure stretched our equipment. We visit the John Rock 4x4 track and camp. We have a commotion at my camp trailer.
Oh.
We fit my winch rope. We tackle a very wet Magalies Mountain, slip and slide going nowhere. We winch and winch, and our camera equipment takes a beating. With heavy rain that fell in the week, our weekend has a very wet start. Our camera crew try their best to protect our cameras. That's not weatherproof, and seems we are ready to go. As we arrive, we are hopeful to tackle John Rock 4x4 track as all is fresh and the obstacles are raw. We catch a glimpse of the Magalies Mountain as we turn into John Rock campground. Johnny the owner is right there to give us a warm welcome.
Hello there.
And I'm too happy to see Anthony's smiling face.
We're standing in a slurt here.
No, we're up here.
Yes, up there. No, up there in that corner.
You're going to get way at the backflip again. We're not together.
No, there's a spot all for us together. You must drive up there.
After sorting out where to pitch our camp, it's time to get organized. As I get out of the 80, I hear a very prominent hissing sound, and so does our one cameraman, eager to capture the moment. He falls, and one camera does not survive. Johnny gets to the trailer and starts tracing the hissing sound. With the gas bottle closed, it is time to inspect the situation.
This is the ys onder die gaslek. Ja, gas solank hy net nie in die brand slaan nie, en as hy in die brand slaan, solank hy buite brand is.
I still smell gas.
Kyk daar, waar staan hy?
A lot of gas.
Gas sinks.
Oh,
Ja, jy sien nou die weer klaar op.
pour that gas out there. I wouldn't be lighting a match anytime in the next hour.
Gas-free eventually, it's time to pitch our camp.
That is broccoli, green peppers, onions, and the leftover mushroom. One mushroom. But I'm losing weight.
And obviously we cannot go without the braai either.
Because there's no more rain. So my girly co-present over there wants to be under the dry places. Something about dry. Not everybody's cup of tea. This is blade steak. It's the tastiest flippin' meat. What? No. You got a mess on you.
You want the knife?
Yeah, just to cut that skeleton there. I've got right here. I thought if you just have it on you. It's okay, it's okay. I used my metal fingers.
You should maybe burn it from the top as well.
Why are you, what do you, that's my meat, dude. And you see. What kind of crazy are you? Oh yes, you're right, that is plastic.
Burned already.
No, it's just dirt on it.
Ooh. Like the
This is
rest of
how
our...
it's starting the weekend. This is how it's starting. It's going to get rich this weekend.
Good.
So good. Cheapest meat you can buy, didn't they? Just don't touch me on my studio.
As it starts to rain again, we settle in under the awning of the trailer. We cook, eat, and catch an early night's sleep. The next morning, awaiting Vaya's arrival.
So we are expecting that we're going to have a very sloshy day at John Rock today. So Yapi's convinced he must actually fit this rope because he broke his on the last trip. And you're going to get, also very luckily, to watch us fit it in the bush at our campsite in the rain. Useful to have all the bolts that you need from your vehicle, not just normal hardware bolts. So the Nissan Patrol has got a series of bolts that it's using. They use on, say, all got like a captive washer, as opposed to like a hardware bolt. It just looks like that. So when you brake, you have the right bolts for your car.
For today, I think with the mud and the rain, I think I'm going to go down to 1 bar. It's turf ground, so it's going to be very slippery. It's wet, so to get the muddies to work properly, I reckon 1 bar would work well. Fitting a brand new winch rope can be a daunting task. You don't always get the chance to do so. Watch to the end to see an interesting thing we learned about the winch rope fitment this trip. After attaching the rope to the winch drum with a patrol screw, we start rolling it. We start at the 80 as the winch draw a lot of current. Anthony guides the rope as it starts to kink uncontrollably.
You don't want that. You want this. And you must roll it with tension on the winch so it's rolled tight from the start to the finish. So let's go until we can't go anymore.
While we roll the rope, it becomes evident that not all the rope will fit the winch drum. And I'm about to learn an interesting thing that will only become clear to me very much later on top of the mountain today.
We might make it. But yeah, might just wind it a bit.
With the access rope around 3 to 4 meters, even with my splicing tool in hand, I make a very good decision not to cut my rope at this time and moment. With the access rope secured around the bull bar, as usual, we are still awaiting someone to arrive.
Yeah, but for today I think we'll leave it like this. I suspect we might have to use it. Can you think of somebody that's missing?
No, but I can think of a plan.
Oh.
To make somebody learn. He can't make it on time ever.
He's terrible in the mornings.
Yeah, not a morning person.
Yeah.
So I reckon he must co-pilot with you. You see, with the wet weather, the way I see it, myself, I'm going to need to know what I'm going to do behind the wheel. And we'll need some eyes to test the waters.
Water is, yeah.
Yeah. And you would also be committed to the drive, wouldn't you?
Yeah, look, but I have to use the steering wheel.
You have to have the stocker.
So that leaves, well, you've already done the water. I think you should walk it. If I go, we'll all go so does the phone.
Oh, this is the better one. Thanks.
So we both, it's between Veya and I who's next on the water.
Yes, but if he co-pilot, I mean, that's a co-pilot.
I think that's a logical choice. The bad news is then that it's inevitable that the next time it's me. But
well, today.
But today is...
So we're going to tell him.
Cropped.
Now we're going to tell him. He's coming with a disco. We don't want the disco to go there for the electronics. And we would like him, or we could tell him, listen, we would like his assistance as co-pilot. Right?
Yeah, I need it.
But you need to insist on that.
Oh yeah, no,
you will.
I feel vulnerable today.
All right.
I wonder if you will come with me just to...
You need to be your co-pilot. Okay. Let's do this. This is payback time. For not wearing a watch. Is this the time to arrive?
That's early.
He's a friend above friends. His willingness. His timekeeping is really bad.
Is this the time to get ya? And then Veya arrives. As Veya attempts parking the off-road caravan, it becomes clear that the rain and the turf-type ground will not be very accommodating today. With the disco sliding all over the place, Veya eventually get in the dry.
The muddy, no sun warning. It's a challenge just to park.
So I just reckon if you go up then you can slide down. So what do you say, Veya? 2 vehicles?
That's what you want, that's what you do.
I want 2 vehicles. Okay. Huh? What do you want?
Ek voel vir, I want to drive.
You want to drive? Okay. You also want to test the mud terrain.
But
In mud mode or what?
The mud program. Look, we don't get chance to use the mud program often. So that's something that I really
that's your call.
sand is something I do a lot, did a lot. Rock crawl we do that a lot. But mud is something I don't get chance for.
I don't want anything blamed on me, it's all I know.
If that is what the problem is, then it's I don't.
It's not a problem.
It's not a problem for me. Look, I've got a 4x4 for that reason. Just to have fun with it.
It's a wet summer's day.
I'm ready. There's a big monster in front of me.
I'm ready. There's another monster in front of me.
And have you got a recovery rope there by you? Sorry, and take it fast.
John Rock 4x4 track consists of 3 sections. A 4x4 track, the slote, and a mountain section. We decide today to start with a mountain section.
There, it might be a nice time to take off your tow bar now.
You just done it.
Well done. Surveyor's removed his tow bar. He's just arrived late in true Veyer style. But we're off. It's a late start. We're hoping the rain will stop a little bit later. But we're in for a slip and slide day. I just got outside the car to get some of the pull straps ready and things for the inevitable. But I didn't wear my hat, so my glasses look like this. See that? Rain. It's horrible. Horrible. Anybody that wears glasses can identify with it. Rain on your glasses. Horrible. So wear a hat for the sun, so my glasses don't get wet. You're welcome for that, Tom Tippy.
We got the Discovery in front of us, and Anthony in front of him, and Johnny right in the front taking point. As our convoy goes up the mountain, the Disco all of a sudden slip and slide all over in front of me.
I should deflate my tires. It's gonna make a big difference in mud.
I think you should opt for that, Where you've got no traction whatsoever.
Alright, I'm gonna deflate a bit.
Okay, wise move. Spinning up the track, the ground offers no grip, and it's so slippery it can barely walk there. From here onward, I am saddened to say that our footage quality, unfortunately, lacks 2 different angles as we lost equipment due to rain without us realizing at that moment. Anthony and Johnny and everybody is there doing the recovery, and we just started the mountain, but we are next. So I'm gonna opt for second gear. Just standing here, I'm already stuck. We gave them a show. 2 cameras got wet, and all the footage from those angles proves to be corrupted and unusable. Sadly, the show I referred to was part of that lost footage. With our action camera's footage intact, we move up the mountain and on a hard soil but slippery as hell. With Johnny's Colt in front and Anthony following him, it is clear the track's loosening up as we move forward. This causes a loss in traction for Veyer and me following. As we progress up the mountain, the further we go, we cannot help wondering when the track will become undrivable as we start to slip and slide more and more. Then we get to a section where going gets tough. Johnny made it up with the Colt, and the patrol had a tough time on its first attempt. And then Anthony gives it another shot.
gave it a good shot.
So you don't back off until you're right behind my car.
Yeah, no, look, Bayer gave it a good shot here.
At the bottom of this part of the track, we parked the disco as it did not manage this obstacle as it slipped and slid all over except Paul. After a good bit of struggle with the 80, I eventually get going, fighting for every bit of grip on my way up.
Don't back off, don't back off. Come.
The 80 now and again lose revs.
Come. Give it a stick, give it a straight time. Come. Go.
Fighting my way up, I nearly made it to the top.
Oh, so close.
Boom!
I suppose you the last little bit.
Yeah. That was lekker, 80.
I move slightly back to try and get a run up again, and I lean on the brakes, but the 80 keeps on moving backwards. Sliding down the mountain seems like a never-ending free fall as I have no control over my destiny. And then the 80 grinds to a halt with big relief.
This is snotty.
Yappie, do you want to test that new winch rope?
Sure.
Okay, I'll just come closer as a bit of an anchor and then we give it a go.
Time to call for that newly installed winch rope with my winch attached to the recovery strap.
Okay, and I'm ready if you're ready.
Winch is engaged, eh? Or the winch clutch, sorry.
Yes, I think so.
You want to try and winch or must I pull? Give it a go.
We slowly crawl up the mountain.
Yappie, I'm going to pull.
Safely up the obstacle, it's time to proceed as Johnny shows the way and the mountain fights back.
Come back some more, Johnny.
With Johnny safely up, Anthony gives it a go.
I'm up another little wet section here of the mountain, and I've gotten myself a bit stuck.
Going nowhere, it's time to get hook up on the winch.
Winch it, buddy, winch it.
Winch.
That's why you got it.
Okay, I'm coming down for your winch.
Having Weyer now as co-pilot as we planned, unfortunately, there is no water, but at least he can attach the winch for Anthony.
Okay, so now we're winching against the tree. Give it a little bit of help in first gear.
This section of the mountain offers less and less grip, the more tire grinds away the wet turf. As we winch up the mountain, the winches do all the work as there is no grip.
The moment you feel the tension on the vehicle, you just go with the flow.
Winching is a very slow process and requires a lot of patience. The 80 literally hangs on a rope up the mountain. With little throttle, I try to minimize extra load on the winch. With very little grip, the 80 swings sideways now and again. The tires find grip, but not enough to grind my way forward. With every sideways movement, you can see how slippery it is on the mountain. It feels endless and all in vain, but then the 80 make progress as the rope slacks as Weyer grabs it to add some tension with a roll up. The 80 slides backwards as the slippery mountain and gravity team up to pull the 80 down the mountain. Luckily, the winch rope safely catches the 80 to secure it. The 80 slides dangerously towards the tree on my right. Then finally, there is grip and forward movement, and that releases me from the winch. Safely through, Weyer frees the winch rope and the crew struggle to keep their footing against the steep slope.
Weyer and I are in the cab together. Just finished winching Yapi, the last section of the uphill on the mountain route here at John Rock. In the wet.
Anthony tried to share his story, and then I received more bad news on the camera equipment.
Like I said, in the wet. In the wet, it's very difficult, especially with a heavy vehicle. The Colt has managed a lot easier than all of us because it's lighter, and they were first. Johnny was the first on the trail, so he churned up the first mud.
It was a different story.
Yeah, and how many? I don't even know how many winches we've done. Lots.
Yeah, a lot. I didn't
I
count.
don't know, 6, 7.
Probably.
I don't know. A few. We've done some winching this morning.
Even with the winch, you can actually see the vehicle just gliding in its own
Slipping
direction.
backwards and forwards. But thank God we got the winches. We wouldn't have made it without the winches.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
And apparently our one camera's microphone got wet in spite of the sock plastic bag that's sitting over the microphone. So we'll give you some audio. Come on, give some
I
audio.
changed from a light blue color
Yeah, no, I
to
took my
even
jersey off actually.
brown color.
Everything's dirty now.
Oh, we had some bad luck with the camera equipment. Every sport got its injuries. Going down, it's going to be slippery. At one stage we rolled back and I braked, and then the car just went. It just non-stop. It didn't stop at all.
As the rain comes down heavily, we move down the mountain as the buck look on curiously. After all the winching, it turned out that the winch rope could fit the winch drum after properly stretched out and fastened to the winch today. This mountain trail offered a lot of fun at a steep price, but it was all worth it as we look at the beauty nature got to offer as we move down towards camp.
So we got a rusted pan here today. It happens in camp often. So we take some vinegar and we're going to take a little bit of bicarb of soda. I say, let it do the work. So I'll leave it a little bit like that, a few minutes. And it's going to soften up the rust. And then I'm going to scrub the pan. Going to give it a nice clean. Repeat the procedure until it's nicely clear and clean, and you rub it down with oil.
With plenty of wet equipment, damaged egos, we get busy at camp.
How's it?
Come to play with me.
You can barely make out who the hell is he. And he's gonna play Uno.
Yeah.
Uno more.
No more.
If you like our content, please subscribe to our channel and like our videos. With the rain, we took a lot of strain with our camera equipment. Even the plastic bag preparation before shooting eventually could not keep the rain at bay. Memory cards, cameras, and sound equipment got wet, along with a camera that crashed to the ground, all in tatters. This adventure just spurred us to come to do this track again when it's dry. In our next adventure, we experienced the most beautiful lover's lane in the world. One of us crashed, and we explore the beauty from the top of a mountain. In the description below in this video, you'll find all related links to John Rock 4x4 track and camp. Please leave us a comment below this video, as we'd love to hear from you.